To victory, the word of the Lord to David, which spake the words of this song, in the day in which the Lord delivered him from the hand of all his enemies, and from the hand of Saul. And he said, Lord, my strength, I shall love thee. The Lord is my steadfastness, and my refuge, and my deliverer. My God is mine helper, and I shall hope in him, my defender, and the horn of mine health, and mine uptaker. I shall praise and inwardly call the Lord, and I shall be safe from mine enemies. The sorrows of death encompassed me, and the strands of wickedness have troubled me. The sorrows of hell encompassed me. The snares of death before occupied me. In my tribulation I inwardly called the Lord, and I cried to my God, and he heard my voice from his holy temple, and my cry in his sight entered into his ears. The earth was moved together and trembled greatly. The foundaments of hills were troubled altogether and moved together, for he was wroth to them. Smoke went up in the ire of the Lord, and fire burnt out from his face. Coals were kindled of him. He bowed down heavens and came down, and darkness was under his feet. And he ascended on cherubim and flew. He flew over the pens of winds, and he setted darknesses his hiding place, his tabernacle in his compass, and dark water was in the clouds of the air. Full clear clouds passed in his sight, hail and the coals of fire. And the Lord thundered from heaven, and the highest gave his voice, hail and coals of fire. And he sent his arrows and destroyed these men. He multiplied lightnings and troubled those men. And the wells of water appeared, and the foundations of the earth were showed. Lord, of thy blaming, of the breathing of the spirit of thine ire. He sent from the highest place and took me, and he took me from many waters. He delivered me from my strongest enemies, and from them that hated me, for they were comforted on me. They came before me in the day of my torment, and the Lord was made my defender. And he let out me into the breath. He made me safe, for he would lead me. And the Lord shall yield to me by rightfulness, and he shall yield to me by the cleanness of mine hands. For I kept the ways of the Lord, and I did not go away unfaithfully from my God. For all his dooms be in my sight, and I put it not away from me his rightfulnesses. And I shall be unwemmed with him, and I shall keep me from my wickedness. And the Lord shall yield to me by my rightfulness, and by the cleanse of mine hands in the sight of his eyes. With the holy thou shalt be holy, and with an innocent man thou shalt be innocent, and with a chosen man thou shalt be chosen, and with a wayward man thou shalt be wayward. For thou shalt make safe a meek people, and thou shalt make meek the eyes of proud men. For thou, Lord, lightenest my lantern. My God, lighten thou my darknesses. For by thee I shall be delivered from temptation, and in my God I shall go over the wall. My God, his way is undefiled. The speeches of the Lord be examined by fire. He is defender of men hoping in him. For why? Who is God except the Lord? Either who is God except our God? God that hath girded me with virtue, and hath set my way unwemmed, which made perfect my feet as the feet of harts, and ordaining me on high things, which teacheth mine hands to battle. And thou hast set mine arms as a brazen bow. Thou hast given to me the covering of thine health, and thy right hand hath uptaken me, and thy chastising amended me into the end, and that chastising of thee shall teach me. Thou enlargest my paces under me, and my steps be not made unsteadfast. I shall pursue mine enemies, and I shall take them, and I shall not turn till they fail. I shall all break them, and they shall not be able to stand. They shall fall under my feet. And thou hast girded me with virtue to battle. And thou hast overturned under me men rising against me. And thou hast given mine enemies aback to me. And thou hast destroyed them that hated me. They cried, and none there was that made them safe. They cried to the Lord, and he heard not them. And I shall all break them, as dust before the face of the wind. I shall do them away as the clay of streets. Thou shalt deliver me from against sayings of the people. Thou shalt set me into the head of folks. The people which I knew not have served me. In the hearing of ear it obeyed to me. Alien sons lied down to me. Alien sons waxed eld, and went crooked from thy paths. The Lord liveth, and my God be blessed, and the God of mine health be enhanced. God, that givest vengeances to me, and makest subject peoples under me. Thou art my deliverer from my wrathful enemies, and thou shalt enhance me from them that rise against me. Thou shalt deliver me from a wicked man. Therefore, Lord, I shall acknowledge to thee among nations, and I shall say psalm to thy name, magnifying the healths of his king, and doing mercy to his Christ David, and to his seed till into the world.